A lot has happened since I uploaded a video a while back talking about how to effectively do the Cobra maneuver. Single handedly, it has done probably the most on my channel when it comes to the amount of views it's brought in and a lot of the discussion it's basically had. Uh, Beyond the point, it has more views than probably every single video on my entire channel combined by a factor of two, which to me is astonishing. The thing I'd like to say about the video today, though, is more or less about how the fact that it is currently antiquated. Today, I'd like to address the Cobra maneuver and how the fact that largely it has pretty much gone past that point that we formerly saw in that video. I get a lot of comments these days talking about the fact that things aren't working right, if there's something wrong that they're not doing. But the reality is, with regards to the J35, the flight model has changed. And I hope that, in essence, we can basically talk about how that can be better understood and the recovery method for, coming out of the maneuver. And then talking about really going on in the future with regards to the plane. And even I'd probably even talk about the channel if I had the time. But I'm not here to waste time. My videos tend to become very long when they are unguided. So without further ado, we will jump right in. Currently, if you were to do the Cobra maneuver in the J35, predominantly what you would have occur in the former case was you would have the aircraft pitch up, drop the nose, and then recover. Currently, that's no longer the case. Currently now, the aircraft will stall to one side and engage into a spin. Often there's hardly any recovery. Sometimes you can let the mouse control recover you out of the Cobra. Now, the key thing you need to know about is the first thing and foremost thing that you need to focus on when you're about to do this maneuver or you're about to plan on engaging it in combat at a certain phase. The key thing you need is reaction altitude. The last thing you can do is Cobra at low altitude like you could before, because of the recovery method being something simple back then, but currently now there's simply just no opportunity to simply recover. In some cases, you actually have to keep in full reel controls in order to better recover from the maneuver. So in this case, you have to fight from going into the spin. So you have to use opposite rudder, and you need to balance the controls. And the idea is you're trying to just get the aircraft to stabilize and go into a forward direction as best as possible. That's the only way you can recover now these days with regards to the J35. I've had a lot of comments talking about the fact that the maneuver doesn't seem to be executed correctly, and you're not wrong, but the fact is it's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's the fact that the flight model has changed. I'd like to briefly talk about the other aircraft currently right now that are predominantly the better platforms when it comes to doing Cobras. These aircraft largely consist of the Mirage series, which are probably the most effective candidates currently that can execute the Cobra maneuver. Aircraft such as the Mirage 3C, the Mirage 3E, and the Mirage 5. The Milan, it does not have enough capability to do it, and the F1s are not in a position that can properly execute it. Additionally, going to Israel, the Nesher is capable of doing it. The Mirage 3C is capable of doing it, but the Kafir is not. The CG balance is just simply not there on that aircraft. I will briefly demonstrate with the Nesher the Cobra maneuver. that can be executed with the Nesher / the Mirage 3 series, and technically the Mirage 5, even though this is the Mirage 5 series technically as a Nesher. This maneuver has a pretty decent range table where you can operate the maneuver, and I have a video on it that will be in the upper right hand corner that can better focus on the maneuver. Full reel control, slight negative G, and then pull back with the right roll and right rudder being executed. Recovery is pretty straightforward. The plane will stall and then drop its nose back into the axis of flight. Fairly simple. And then the other candidate that has predominantly been a member, I don't know if you could really say it's largely doing a Cobra if it meets the 110-degree pitch requirement. But the F-14, if I can get it to load, there we go. This aircraft technically can do it as well. It does not require you to actually go into full reel controls for it, because simply it is a stall when it comes to executing a spin. This maneuver at least 500 kilometers an hour it will execute. Fortunately, at higher speeds it will not go into the maneuver, so it will not rip off the wings. Fairly friendly aircraft when it comes to it. As you can see, it's fairly easy. Same side aileron, same side rudder. So same side rudder, same side aileron. Sustaining that, and then pulling back on the stick will initiate the maneuver. Largely, that's all the aircraft that predominantly have this capability. Obviously, you've seen the video, if you have not, the F4 Phantom, and how it can actually do an inverted version, which is more of a tumble. And beyond that, very few aircraft really can execute the maneuver cleanly as the previously stated aircraft that I've demonstrated. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. I know I've been pretty inactive with it. Largely, it's just been down to the fact that my schedule's been pretty overwhelming. I've been doing CAD work, I've been doing flight lessons, and additionally, with regards to War Thunder, I've been trying to unwind as much as I can through War Thunder without really, having the time or dedication to uploading stuff. I really do care about the people that have cared about my content, and I really hope to give something back to them, as they have done previously in the said video. And honestly, I look to try and help provide a series on various things, very, very applicable things that go beyond the sense of just simply maneuvers, but actually talk about variable tactics and actually help explain a lot of stuff when it comes to various things in the game, such as one circle, two circle, and WES. I hope that that stuff can be a benefit to a lot of you guys. Oh, we're in a bolter. Beyond that scuffed landing, like I said, I hope you guys can find something that you'd like to be looked at, and we can go from there. Beyond that, I'd just like to let you guys know that I'm still thankful for all the support you guys give, and I hope to catch you guys soon. See you later.